Hi, good evening all. Welcome to Blue and Gold Talk. Time for video, guys. Stanley Cup is done. Not sure how many of you feel about it. I am thrilled that Florida won again. Very happy for them. And yeah, I'm one of those Canadians. Screw that. I'm not into this Canadian franchise thing has to win one. I'm not into that. If it was Winnipeg, I might have felt a little differently, you know. They've never won the cup. There's a difference. Edmonton's got 5 Stanley Cups over there. So, guys, I'm going to talk a little bit about the boys, of course. We're going to want to talk about that. And I'm just going to go random here. I'll give you my thoughts on this series because what I've seen, I think what you've seen and what all of us seen was pretty much when it was all said and done, was there really a debate who the best team was? You know what I mean? You know, if you look at, I'll go briefly over all the games. Game 1, the 4-3 overtime for Edmonton. I'll tell you what ticked me off about that, folks. That stupid over-the-glass penalty rule that I wish the league would do away with. They brought in that rule not because, you see Oiler fans saying, yeah, but people were abusing that, and that's not what was happening. Why they brought that in to elevate goal scoring in the league, to create a penalty, so there'd be another power play. So they were desperate back in 06 to get goals. And many Sabres fans will know that's what ended our season, was that stupid call in Carolina in Game 7, right? It's such a dumb penalty. But that's why Edmonton won Game 1. They got that call. And as soon as that happened, folks, I swear I shut the game. I didn't watch. I am not watching a game end on the terms of that stupid penalty. I said, no, I'm not watching this. This is silly. I'm just going to get frustrated. Game 2, double overtime. Edmonton ties it late. It sure looks like the Oilers are going to really jump on this team 2-0, and Marchand comes through in double overtime, thankfully, and we have a series now. We go back to Florida, and that was the Florida Day Massacre, where everybody on the Oilers use their sticks like they're trying to chop trees down on the Panthers. And the Oiler fans were complaining it was the Panthers that were gooning, and it was the Oilers that were chopping with their sticks. You guys seen the game. I don't know what happened to the Oilers that night. Something psychologically broke in them that night. The only surprise game of this tournament, of this Stanley Cup final, I should say, is Edmonton when they won 5-4 in Game 4. When they were up 3-0, Florida, I thought that game, I'm not going to say was done. I'm not that type of fan. I say, oh, this is over. No, I knew it was 90% done. You know, I knew if they scored the next goal, Bobrovsky's not giving up 5 straight goals, you know? And Edmonton come back and tie it 3-3. And the mistake Edmonton made, they took a 4-3 lead with like 6 minutes left. And I forget who got the goal. It was one of their role players. Goes by the Oiler bench, the Panther bench, and he's mouthing at the guys. And I'm thinking, oh boy, that's dumb, you know? And then Reinhart tied it with 18 seconds left, forces overtime. And they score this time. Now it's their turn to score. The funny goal in overtime between the goalies' legs. It's just weird. So after 2-2, I thought it was fair. 2-2. It was fair, even though the Oilers had 2 wins, both in overtime. I said, okay, 2-2 is fair. They go back to Edmonton, folks. I don't got any answer what happened in Game 5. I just don't have any answer for that. I mean, they go into Edmonton and they just steamroll them, really. And I don't know about you guys. I look for this stuff, okay? I was watching the after the game, the interviews. And it was, who was it? It was McDavid. And you know, like, McDavid should, like, take a stand and tell these guys, stop calling me the best player in the world. I'm sick of it. Like, you can tell it was bugging him, but he doesn't have maybe his ego doesn't want to say nothing, and he still likes hearing it. I don't know. But he should have said something to the guys. Well, now, you know, you're the greatest player in the world, and they approached the question using that first. You're the best hockey player in the world. It's like, you know, why do they have to do that? I don't know. But you could see McDavid, and who was it? I think it was Nurse, was sitting with him. They didn't even make eye contact with each other. And I said, they're done in Game 6. I looked at this interview. I said, you know what? That team has lost. I showed this to My stepfather, I showed it to him and I said, look, take a look at this. And he didn't understand what I was looking at. I said, take a look. There's no eye contact. They're not joking around. They're deadly serious. That's not what the Panthers would be doing. The Panthers they'd be joking around with each other. They'd be laughing. They would be acting like there's no stress, even though there is. But they'd be acting like there isn't. And in that final game yesterday, folks, Connor McDavid, I mean, this is supposed to be the best hockey player in the world right now. And both times I've seen this guy, Game 7 of the finals last year, he was a ghost. And this year again, he was McGhost. In Game 6 in this, he just didn't show. And people say, yeah, but he got the big goal for Canada. It's a big deal, a Four Nations tournament. There was one championship game, not a series. One game, it went in overtime, and McDavid scored. Big wow. Honestly, I mean, I was happy as a Canadian that we won that, but big deal. Like, you're going to compare that to winning a Stanley Cup where you got to break like 11 fingers on the way to do it? It's so dumb sometimes, some of the fans. Honestly, I'm getting ticked off thinking about it, so I'm going to drop it. This was the first finals that I seen. A team could have won 6 straight with a bit of luck. They could have won 6 straight. And folks, I'm going to call it now for next year. The Florida Panthers are going to be the first dynasty in the NHL, I believe. I'm going to watch the offseason. I might change my mind when I see the signings. We'll see. But as it stands right now, if they can maintain this team, I believe they're going to repeat next year as Stanley Cup champions. And next year, they will be one of the top teams in hockey, maybe first overall next year. They're not going to have a year like they did this year, next year. This year, they're not going to be third place, and that's not going to happen to the Panthers next year. No. This team next year is going to be hell to deal with in our division, but that's okay. And if we make the playoffs, this is who I want to play. This team right here. This is who I want to play, guys. It would be the best thing for us as fans. It'd be the best thing for the young Sabres, if they get in, to face a team like this that is going to beat them to a pulp. If the Sabres are going to lose, let them get beaten and beaten hard and learn what it takes to win a championship from the best. And that's where I stand with that. Now, the Sabres. Let's look at it, guys. The salary cap this year coming, unless I'm wrong, is 95.5. Isn't that nuts? 95.5. The Sabres right now are sitting on $24 million in space. Okay? Now, if these rumors are true, well, the Paterka that he's saying he wants to get out, and then we have to get rid of him, folks. We just have to get rid of him if it's true. You know? We got to sign McLeod. I think we can do a pretty decent deal there. We got to sign Jack Quinn. I know many of you were frustrated with him. He's 23, and he's for sure got like 30, 40 goal potential. You got to sign him. And Jacob Bryson, we should let him. Oh, Bryson's still under contract. Sorry, Byram. I thought it was Bryson that was RFA. No, we should move Bryson. Okay, Byram. We'll get back to Byram. Bernard Docker, sign him, re-sign him. Yeah, for sure re-sign him. Some of these guys re-sign. It's not going to cost much, but I'll get to that in a sec, because if we're going to make any kind of splash, we're going to have to pay, because we're the Sabres, and the Sabres will have to pay more than the Florida Panthers would. It's just and it's just not because the team is way better. It's because of state taxes and all sorts of things. James Reimer, I don't know where I stand with that, because I think Devin Levi and UPL, we just got to throw them in the fire and then see what happens next year with these guys. UPL is not a youngster no more. He's 26 now. And UPL is going to have to show us something, right? He's 26, going on 27 by the end of the year. He's got to show us something this year. And if he has any kind of bad start, I don't think we'll be able to move him anyway. Who's going to take that contract off our hands, really? We gave this guy way too much, way too soon. He gave us half a good year, and boom, Adams was ready to open the wallet again with this guy. 4.75 for this guy, a career 900 goalie. I don't know. It's a lot. And I would say the same thing for Levi. And Levi right now, I'm not happy with that. I'm still upset about that, how that ended in Laval. The Jeff Skinner kicks in next year at 4.44. Next year, 6.44. There's going to be some cap space lost, but then it's 2.4, 2.4, 2.4. So it's this year coming, next year. And that's what I'm looking at here. I don't know, guys. I like how evenly distributed the money is. Really, I do. I think that we paid Dahlin too much because $11 million he needed to, I thought, show a bit more than we. But it's the Sabres, guys. This is the conditions of being a Buffalo Sabres fan. And the thing is, he is a superstar. I think many of us agree with that. There's no doubt. But we need this guy to step it up now this year. We need him to play like an $11 million guy, not an $8 million guy. We need that this year from Dahlin. So can Dahlin bring it up a level? Sure, I think he could this year. There's a lot of good here when you look at this roster, folks. As misdirected as it was last year, Tage for $7 million. We got our money's worth there. Tuck is worth more than 4.75. Zucker, I'm thrilled that he's staying, in Buffalo. Greenway, we got him for 2 more years at 4. He earns his money. I'm looking at just the amount, guys. Sam Lafferty, $2 million, low risk. I liked what I seen in some games. What else can I tell you? Peyton Krebs is a mystery. Guys, Peyton Krebs is a mystery. I mean, wasn't this the guy that was holding up the bloody Jack Eichel deal? What the hell is that? I don't get how this guy was holding up the deal when what I've seen of him, I keep anticipating something's going to happen with Krebs, and no, it doesn't happen again, and it doesn't happen again. And I think we're out of time with Krebs. I would package him in a deal and send him on his way. I know he's only 24, okay? But his numbers, yes, he's been on, poor guy, we had him with Gergensons on the 4th line, I get it, but, and Okposo, I get it. We kind of screwed the guy in a lot of ways. People say you got some time on the first line. What time? Give me a break. You can't do it in 30 games. Sometimes you need a year or two, But he's good defensively. He is good defensively. Malenstein, low risk. He's not hurting the team, really, He's got physical side to his game. Zach Benson, we started too soon in his career as a pro. And we did. It was a mistake. I would have agreed a little bit more with it if he wasn't so small, but he's a tiny guy. He's got a big heart. He's like a bigger size Gerby, He's got heart, no doubt about it. Peterka, I'm lost, guys. I want more evidence about this thing that he wants out. I want more evidence because I haven't been able to really find anything, but I haven't really looked. I've been just hearing it from our channels that he wants out. I'm a little surprised by that. Remember when we drafted him, he seemed really sincerely happy that, to come to Buffalo and everything. And it's not that long later. He's 23. I know you guys are ready to hang power. Give it another year. Please, give it another year. Another year. Let's see what this guy's made of. He's a freak of nature. Look at the size of him. No, we don't give up on a giant. Not yet. Do you remember how bad in the beginning Chara was? Calm down, folks. Samuelson, I got no problem with his game like many folks do, but I'll tell you what, the injuries. If we can move him, move him. It's the injuries that I'm fed up with. Clifton, I want to keep. I know a lot of Sabres fans aren't crazy about him. I love the guy. I love his physical game. Keep Clifton. Bryson, I want gone. Byram, we're going to talk about it again in a sec. Bernard Darker, I don't got a problem if we re-sign him. And the goaltending's a thing. I don't know. We're going to have to talk about it. Goaltending and Byram really are the 2 things in our offseason, guys. And, of course, Peterka. Those are the 3 things, right? So if we're going to move Peterka, we're going to get something back. And we better get a veteran, okay? It better be a veteran. I got somebody wants to say hi. Come here. Come on. Oh, you got my wire stuck on you. There she is, folks. You want a kiss? You want kissies? Is Rosie Monkey going to give Daddy kissies? Are you going to give me kissies? No. Sometimes I'll do that and she'll lick my nose. She's a good dog. Sometimes I think she knows she's on camera. It's weird, eh? All right, you Steve, wait for me. We're almost done, okay? Yeah, so Peterka, if we trade him, please get a vet. You guys know I never would have said that a few years ago, but we need veterans right now. We got to get this team older. We can't be the youngest team in hockey again, guys, and make the playoffs this year. It's not going to happen. We need some veteran leadership in that dressing room. You guys seen how important it was with Zucker. What a difference he made some nights. Not the whole year, but some nights. My God, we leaned on this guy, right? Get veterans. We need some vets. Quinn McLeod, I talked about it. I'm pretty sure we'll resign them. Byram. I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up on Byram, guys. I think I'll close the video with this. I don't want to give up on Byram. Give him 10. The hell with it. Like, this guy's awesome. He's really awesome. And I think we really need to keep the awesome guys. If we could keep Dahlin and Bowen Byram on our blue line for a long, long time, I don't see why eventually we can't win a Stanley Cup in the future. Like, you look at Florida, what they've done. And guys, I'll say it again. I hope the Sabres took notes this playoff and learned a lot. Because how many times did the Panthers look down and out and not panic this year? Right? They were down 2-0 to Toronto. Game 3 went in overtime. Marchand. Game 2 went in overtime in the finals against the Oilers. Double overtime. The Oilers missed a breakaway. Marchand. There's a lot of things that can happen if you don't lose that belief in that dressing room. You don't ever sacrifice it under any conditions, is what I'm saying. And the Sabres were so easily bent out of whack. God, they could take them and like Gumby and just, it's not like that now. The team that wins the Stanley Cup now has to be fierce. They have to be not just deep. They have to be so damn proud that it doesn't matter what team. Like, everybody in Canada here was picking, I'm telling you guys, picking the Oilers. They thought the Oilers were going to massacre Florida. Bad mistake. So I think losing somebody like Bowen Byram, for me, would be huge. It's going to kill me to see it happen because we dominated that trade, destroyed it. We took Colorado for a ride in that one. I mean, we've got to keep this guy somehow and pay the money. Pay the money. If he's not willing to sign for the big money, what can we do then? There's not much. If the Sabres are winning, that's what sucks, guys. If the Sabres, let's say, would have made the playoffs this year and won one playoff series, Byram, I'm sure, would stick around and sign a contract with us. I'm sure of it. And the owner's got to just, the Sabres got to get their act together this year because we're going to lose all these players eventually. It might not just be Peterka. It might start being a network of players that just want out of Buffalo eventually. And then what happens then, guys? So I'm leaving it there. I've talked long enough. I wanted to have a good video with you guys, a long one. I've done that. I've achieved that. I'm going to take my little girl out. She needs to get out. Don't jump on the wire. She's so bad. He's a good dog. So, guys, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching once again. I kind of gave you my rundown of how I feel about the offseason. I'll be in touch, guys, very soon. We're going to talk about, we got the draft coming up, and I've got my thoughts on that. I don't want to keep the pick. I want to trade it. I want to get a vet for it. I'm in that zone now, thinking. Think about it. Florida doesn't have a first-round pick for the next 3 seasons. You think they're worried about where they're at? You know what I mean? We can't keep depending on the draft. Yes, in the beginning, but we're beyond that now. Now we should be taking our draft picks and making some trades to build up the team really fast now. So if Adams doesn't do it, get him out of there. Seriously. I know. I'm going to just leave it there because I'm going to get frustrated. God bless you guys. I'll see you soon.